My Omega younger brother was crying and throwing a fit, insisting he didn't want to marry Charlie. He said Charlie had a gloomy personality and a cruel streak, but that wasn't the truth. His gloominess was just a shield he built from never having felt loved. His cruelty came from being surrounded by people with ulterior motives all his life. So what exactly had Charlie done wrong? He was practically designed to make people want to protect him. I made up my mind on the spot and raised my hand. If he doesn't want to marry him, then I'll go. The moment the words left my mouth, 3 pairs of eyes snapped toward me. Thomas? I almost forgot, our family actually had another son. Right, the invisible little beta. That would be me. You? If you go, will Charlie even agree to it? I shrugged. He just needs someone to form an alliance with. Who it is shouldn't matter. Since my brother refuses to go, I'll do it. Consider it, paying back the years you raised me. Yeah, right. What nonsense, raising me. They never even saw me as a real person. Growing up, I was nothing but Nathan's comparison chart. Nathan, the perfect Omega. Lively, pretty, adored by everyone. And Thomas, gloomy, ordinary, and invisible. I wasn't volunteering to marry Charlie out of some noble sense of duty. I was doing it because I really liked Charlie's character. When I woke up in this world, I already had the entire plot memorized. Charlie, the beautiful, powerful, tragic type. His father didn't care about him, and his mother didn't love him. Because he was an illegitimate child, he was bullied non-stop, and his legs were injured so badly that cold weather left him in unbearable pain, forcing him into a wheelchair. But when he grew up, he fought his way through every obstacle, not only taking revenge on those who tormented him as a child, but also seizing complete control of the company. The book described him like this: a face as gentle as a saint, but a heart as sharp as a blade. Someone like that, other people would avoid him, but he was exactly my type. Besides, my real life was basically a disaster. Parents with double standards, a brother with a prince complex. Marrying Charlie felt like salvation. Just imagining a future where I could make money while running my hands over a handsome man's abs made me smile. So the day after the marriage was decided, I packed my bags and got ready to leave. On the morning I headed out, my parents finally sounded relieved. For once, they even looked at me with a hint of praise. My father patted my shoulder. Good. You finally did something useful for this family. Nathan snorted. Marrying a rich guy, lucky you. According to the original plot, Nathan cried and begged but still got forced to marry Charlie. But after the wedding, their relationship was worse than strangers. Nathan even helped the main character in secret multiple times, stealing important documents from Charlie's study, one of the main reasons Charlie went bankrupt later. The book described Nathan's first impression of Charlie. The door opened. A handsome man sat in a wheelchair, his refined eyes sweeping over him with a coldness like he was looking at something already dead. I took a deep breath, trying my best to hide the excitement on my face. Cold beauty, here I come. The place Charlie lived was remote, just his style. Quiet. When I arrived, the butler opened the door for me. I asked immediately, "Where's Charlie?" "Young master went out. He won't be back until early evening." I looked around. My first thoughts were, big, empty, dark. If anyone lived here long enough, they'd end up depressed. Look at these lights, so dim it felt like they forgot to pay the electric bill. And that huge living room didn't even have a fish tank. Not a single plant. I clicked my tongue. Well, since I moved in, I'd have to fix all of this. So I spent the entire afternoon unpacking and ordering a mountain of new furniture. I was leaning back on the sofa, imagining how to redecorate the place, when I heard the front door open. I looked up and saw a stunningly handsome man being pushed inside in a wheelchair. Charlie was back. I jumped to my feet. God, he looked good. Even backlit, his features were impossibly striking. But the look he gave me was exactly like the book said, cold, detached, like he was staring at something lifeless. I didn't mind. Seeing he was dressed lightly, I grabbed a blanket and walked over with a bright smile. "Hi, sweetheart. You're home." Charlie froze. "You?" His voice was low and slightly hoarse, enough to make someone's heart go weak. "Thomas?" "Yep, that's me. Your fiancé." Charlie frowned almost imperceptibly. "Why are you here so early?" In the original plot, Nathan only arrived the night before the engagement ceremony. But I wasn't Nathan. I wanted to come early so we can work on our relationship. "No need," Charlie said coldly. "This is a business marriage. There won't be any feelings involved." Charlie pulled off the blanket and steered his wheelchair toward the bathroom. "As you can see, my legs aren't good. Make yourself at home." I stood there, frozen for 2 seconds. 4. Charlie's brows tightened hard, a flash of rejection rising in his beautiful eyes. "I don't need that. Stay away from me." I pretended not to hear him. "Oh, don't be so formal. We're getting married soon. You'll be my husband and I'll be your spouse. Helping you shower is totally normal, right? If you want, I can scrub your back too. I'm great at it. Before he could escape, I'd already pushed him all the way into the bathroom. Charlie gripped my wrist firmly and repeated every word. I don't need it. You do. You just don't know the good parts of marriage yet. I'll make sure you feel all the warmth that comes with it. I reached for his clothes. Come on, don't be shy. I'll help you undress. The moment I put my hands on his shirt, Ryup, both of us froze. I hadn't even used much strength, but that nice silk organza shirt of his just tore straight down the middle. I stared at my own hand. Wow, I'm strong. Sorry, didn't think your clothes were that delicate. I'll pay you back. I cleared my throat. Anyway, why don't I just help you bathe first? My gaze lingered a little too long on the defined lines of his abs, and I swallowed. Charlie clearly wasn't used to this home invasion level of enthusiasm. He actually crossed his arms over his chest, unsure what to do with me. I don't like people around when I'm bathing, he said coolly. But then, maybe afraid I'd start doing something even crazier, he glanced at me again, and his voice softened just a little. I just need some time to adjust. Could you step out first, please? I thought about it. He had a point. Chemistry takes time to build. So I nodded. Alrighty. 5. I sat in the bedroom waiting for Charlie to finish showering. 20 minutes later, another beauty stepping out after a bath moment slammed straight into my eyes. I swallowed again. Seriously, how is someone this attractive? It made something in me burn. Charlie saw me sitting on his bed and immediately frowned. Why are you still here? What do you mean? I'm your spouse. Where else would I be? I'm not used to sharing a room with someone. I waved it off. No worries. You'll get used to it. Then I grabbed the towel in his hand and started rubbing his hair like a storm. You have to dry your hair quickly. You'll catch a cold otherwise. He smelled amazing. Good-looking alphas always seem to have pheromones like rich floral perfume. I inhaled deeply and leaned closer to his neck. Charlie caught my wrist again. Thomas, I don't need. You smell so good, I murmured. Makes me kinda want to bite you. Charlie, pretty sure he was terrified. 2 seconds later, he let go of my wrist like he'd given up. Fine, dry it. His hair was soft, totally opposite from his cold personality. The black strands fluttered under the warm air, covering his eyes so I couldn't read them. I know why you came, he said quietly. Your brother Nathan refused the marriage. You two are the same to me. You don't need to pretend you like me. That annoyed me. What do you mean we're the same? He didn't want to marry you, but I came willingly. Charlie let out a mocking smile. Really? That expression told me he still didn't believe a word. So I coughed twice and began spinning nonsense like a pro. Actually, it was love at first sight. I held his hands dramatically. Remember when you rescued that starving cat in the alley? That was my cat. From that moment, I knew you were a good man, nothing like the rumors. Charlie, I really like you. I sounded so sincere that even I almost believed myself. The liking you part was true. But the cat? Absolutely unrelated. In the original story, that moment was just a tiny scene. Charlie pitted the cat because it reminded him of his childhood pain. Charlie paused when he heard me mention it. Then his expression went cold again. Lies. That cat died. Love at first sight. Total scam. 6. Ha. My brain crashed instantly. Seriously, what kind of author writes a plot point and doesn't even finish it properly? Seeing Charlie push his wheelchair toward the door, I rushed forward and pulled him back. Fine. No more stories. I'll just show you I don't dislike you at all. I pushed him toward the bed while pulling at my own clothes. Why won't you believe me? I really like you. I'd already stripped halfway when Charlie suddenly stood up from his wheelchair. His ears were completely red. Are you out of your mind? For them, your family, you can go this far. Thomas, your methods are impressive. And then he ran. Actually ran, like something monstrous was chasing him. I clicked my tongue, shaking my head. Did I just scare the strongest, most ruthless villain in the entire book? I quietly gave myself a mental thumbs up. Thomas, you're unbelievable. But honestly, Charlie might be ruthless in business, but emotionally, he was unexpectedly pure. So pure it was, kind of tempting. I licked my lips and stepped out of the room. Charlie had disappeared. I asked the butler, what's the deal with his legs? I thought he couldn't walk. The young master's legs aren't crippled. Cold weather causes severe pain. The doctor advised him to avoid walking. I hummed thoughtfully. So they can be treated? The butler shook his head. He refuses treatment. Right. That matched the book. Charlie was the type to remember every pain he'd ever suffered, and every person who caused it. He wanted revenge 1,000-fold. I muttered a quiet curse. So he punished himself with the pain meant for others? That was ridiculously stupid. Well, whatever Charlie thought in the past. For the sake of my future happiness. Now that I'm here, I'm fixing those legs whether he likes it or not. 7. Charlie didn't come home the whole night. The next morning, knocking on the door woke me up. All the stuff I ordered, fish tank, plants, everything, had arrived. I rolled up my sleeves and got to work. Following online guides, I redecorated the entire villa from top to bottom. Added flowers, plants, instantly made the place look alive. When Charlie finally came back and opened the door, he froze. Then he instinctively stepped back like he was wondering if he'd walked into the wrong house. I laughed. Stop looking. I bought all of it. The house looked like a showroom, so I fixed it up. Pretty good, right? We're gonna live together. Gotta make the place feel like home. Charlie pressed his lips together, his expression complicated, as if wondering, someone like him, could he really have a home with another person? At the doorway, I'd placed Jasmine. Its meaning was pure affection. No clue if Charlie would understand that bit of romance. I cleared my throat. Guess what the flowers mean? Charlie hesitated, blocking the walkway. I nearly spit blood, clutched my chest, inhaled deeply. It's fine. The cold-hearted villain not understanding romance is normal. I'll train him. I gazed at him with all the sincerity in the world. It means my love for you. Unnecessary, he muttered coldly, but the tips of his ears were, again, turning pink. 8. That weekend, Charlie and I went home to discuss the engagement. My parents prepared a huge table of dishes, not that I could actually eat most of them. Nathan loved seafood, but I happened to be allergic to it. So every time I reached for food, I had to skip past several plates just to find something safe. This audio is originally produced by the YouTube channel, Omegaverse Tales Studio. Please credit when sharing. Charlie kept a calm, detached expression the whole time. He barely touched his chopsticks. Meanwhile, my parents were overly enthusiastic, their smiles so wide that the wrinkles on their faces practically unfolded. Charlie, you know Thomas has always been quiet and withdrawn since he was young. If he marries you, at least you'll have some peace and quiet. Charlie repeated softly, peace. My father suddenly snapped, hitting the back of my hand with his chopsticks. Can't you eat properly for once? Maybe learn something from Nathan instead of picking at your food one grain at a time. I hissed under my breath and glanced at Nathan, who was stuffing his face like a champion. Thanks, but no thanks. Charlie frowned. He set down his chopsticks, took my hand, and stood up. Thomas is allergic to seafood. None of you noticed? As for the engagement, next week is fine. I'll send everyone the invitations. I was still stunned as he dragged me out. It took me a long moment to recover. Charlie, were you worried about me? Now that was rare. It was the first time in my life someone noticed my seafood allergy while I was eating. Even my own parents never noticed. Charlie said calmly, no. It's just that the food here is terrible. 9. In the original storyline, the engagement party was rushed and sloppy. But this time, I handled everything myself. I was determined to give the villain a truly unforgettable memory. On the day of the engagement, the place was packed with guests. I greeted everyone with a bright smile. Please, eat well. Don't be shy. When I raised my glass for a toast, Nathan glanced at me, my cheeks were glowing, and I even looked a little healthier than when I left home. Charlie didn't hit you? He asked. Why would he hit me? Isn't he rumored to have violent tendencies? I resisted the urge to roll my eyes. You said it yourself, rumors. Nathan wanted to say more, but a sudden commotion pulled his attention. A sharp scream followed. Thomas, and you said he doesn't have violent tendencies. My stomach dropped. Oh no. When did Charlie's older brother, Adam, get here? Their relationship wasn't just bad, it was mutually destructive. In the original story, Adam was the one responsible for their mother's death. And right now, Charlie had him pinned to the ground, a piece of shattered glass dangerously close to Adam's neck. I rushed over and wrapped my arms around Charlie. Hey, calm down. The glass dug into my palm, warm blood seeping out. Charlie seemed to snap back to himself. He released Adam's throat and said coldly, get out. In the lounge, medical staff cleaned my wound. I winced in pain. Nathan wandered over just to gloat. Thomas, you're really willing to marry someone like that? You must be desperate for money. And why wouldn't I dare marry him? He went after his own brother today. I was losing patience. This idiot, if he had experienced the things Charlie went through, he'd probably kneel in defeat on the spot. Even a mountain statue would step aside for him. What's that supposed to mean? Nathan asked. It means I want to marry him. I like him. Mind your own business. Charlie stood at the doorway, hearing every word loud and clear. His once frozen heart felt as if someone had opened the curtains to let the sun in. A strange, unfamiliar warmth spread through him. Not unpleasant, just unexpected. He pushed open the door. Thomas, let's go home. 10. Does your hand still hurt? I shook my head. Not anymore. Next time something happens, don't use your hand to block it. I hummed twice in agreement. Honestly, my reaction earlier was pure instinct. I didn't want my future husband going to prison before we even got married. I secretly gave Charlie a once-over. I hadn't even kissed those perfect lips yet. Back at the villa, Charlie went to shower. When he came out and saw me sitting on the bed, he said the same thing he said that first night. Why are you still here? I frowned. Seriously? We're married. Are you still trying to kick me out? Charlie looked flustered. That's not what I meant. He looked so striking standing there, this dangerous villain who suddenly behaved like a shy newlywed. I couldn't help pulling him close and planting a kiss on his cheek. He froze. I pushed him onto the bed and kissed him on the lips. Soft, warm, springy, like kissing a piece of fruit jelly. Don't talk, I said, pretending to sound fierce. I want our wedding night. Charlie's defined chest and firm abs. I finally got to touch them. And oh, did I enjoy it. The lights went out. His voice turned low and rough. Why, do you like me so much? I urged him impatiently to continue. Like is like. No need for a reason. His gaze deepened. In the book, Charlie was described as cold, emotionless, and indifferent to intimacy, rumored to be incapable of physical desire. Those rumors, I disproved them tonight. He wasn't cold at all. If anything, he was a little too intense. It hurt at first, he was clumsy and unsure, but later, he learned fast, very fast. As a beta, I couldn't be marked, but my shoulders and neck were covered in his bites. Not aggressive, just claiming, overwhelming. I was drenched in his alpha scent from head to toe. 11. The next morning, I was sore everywhere. I touched the back of my neck, still aching, and tried to stand. My legs gave out, and I collapsed onto the soft carpet. Charlie came in and immediately lifted me into his arms. Are you hurt anywhere? I fought through the soreness and said stubbornly, It wasn't strong enough. Charlie's grip tightened. His fingers pinched the soft flesh of my thigh, almost amused. Oh, how strong do you want it to be? If you get your legs treated, I'm sure you'll be even stronger. I shifted the topic back on track. Go get the treatment, okay? He fell quiet for a long moment, then finally nodded. I promise. I was thrilled. Charlie's story was slowly returning to the right path. He could finally free himself from everything that had been haunting him. But soon, we would hit a major plot point. The protagonist, Hunter, was coming back to the country. He had always clashed with Charlie, and their business rivalry would only get worse. Even though Charlie was competent, he couldn't defeat the protagonist's halo in the original story. He ended up bankrupt. Just imagining it. The villa gone, the sports cars gone. Charlie and I homeless and sleeping on the streets. Sent a chill down my spine. Absolutely not. I could not allow that ending. I didn't understand business battles, but I knew one thing. The simplest solution is often the most effective. I needed the protagonist and the villain to stop fighting and just get along. So on the day Hunter returned, I threw him a welcome banquet. And of course, I invited Charlie too. Charlie refused at first. They had hated each other since school. Becoming friends was impossible, so I began guilt-tripping him. Hunter is my friend. You're my husband. If the two of you don't get along, I'll be really sad. Would you really let me be sad? Please, come with me. Under my gentle persistence, Charlie finally agreed, as expected of my husband. 12. As the protagonist of the story, Hunter naturally had to be impressive. Good family, good looks, a background that could be shown off with pride. If it weren't for the long-standing friendship between our families, this rare chance for reconciliation probably wouldn't have existed. At the dinner table, Hunter couldn't resist teasing Charlie as soon as he saw him. Wow, the deadpan face shows up too. Charlie shot him a cold glare. Idiot. Sensing the tension about to erupt, I quickly raised a hand. Stop. It took me only a fraction of a second to make a decision. Hunter, that's crossing the line. Hunter, we're just friends, okay? I emphasize friends. Charlie is the person I care about the most. Of course, I want you two to get along. Stop being so hostile, or it makes me uncomfortable. Charlie and Hunter glanced at each other. Disdain radiated from both of them. Thankfully, neither continued to make cutting remarks. I let out a sigh of relief. This should dodge the storylines that were disadvantageous to Charlie, right? When the dinner ended, Charlie went to pay the bill. Hunter suddenly spoke up. Such a shame, really. Shame about what? You probably didn't know. I used to like you, but I came back and saw you married to someone else. I didn't even get a chance to confess. What a shame. He turned his head, and there stood Charlie, his expression dark, at the doorway of the room. Big brother, cut it out. 13. No joke, that one line from the protagonist almost ruined the entire evening. By the time we got home, Charlie was wrapped in a heavy, brooding mood. I straddled him, cupped his face, and asked, "Why are you still upset? Didn't I just shut him down hard for you?" Charlie's hoarse voice came, low and possessive. "I don't like you talking to others." I froze. This was the first time Charlie had shown such strong possessiveness in front of me. Being claimed like this felt amazing. I blurted out without thinking, "I swear, I only like you. Only you. For life. Till we're old and gray." Of course, I sounded like a hopelessly romantic prince. Charlie's eyes flickered with a blush. Under the soft light, he looked fragile and stunning. I leaned in, about to kiss him, when suddenly a sharp pain twisted in my stomach. Charlie's expression tensed. "What's wrong?" The pain vanished as quickly as it came, like an illusion. "Nothing," I murmured, touching my belly. I was a beta, surely not pregnant, right? It was just a playful thought. "You better try harder, husband. I want to have your baby." Charlie's eyes darkened. Suddenly, the world flipped. I was pressed into the soft bed, my neck stung sharply, and a rich floral scent filled the room. Just as I was overwhelmed with pleasure, a cold electronic voice suddenly rang in my head. "Still having a baby, buddy? You're about to die before even getting there, you know?" My body shivered. "What the hell?" Charlie lifted his face, his crimson lips wet with glistening moisture. "What's wrong? Did I hurt you?" "No, huh. It's just, all this pleasure is giving me hallucinations." 14. Damn it, not hallucinations. The next day, I shouted at the empty room. "Hey, how did you get into my head? I'm the system of this story. If you hadn't interfered with the plot, I wouldn't be working overtime." "How did I interfere?" I asked. "How many of Charlie's storylines have you messed with?" "You know exactly what you did." The system yawned in my mind. The villain Charlie's ending should be ruined, family destroyed, everyone betrays him. That's how his beautiful, strong, tragic character is meant to be. Look at him now. He's totally OOC because of you. And interfering with the story has consequences. Even if Charlie avoids the ending meant for him, you will die. The system emphasized the word die. "So, Charlie's ending is supposed to be tragic?" I asked. "Yes. Why?" I tilted my head to the void. Why should he suffer just because he's the villain? The system paused, stumped. "I'm just a system. I don't know anything. I can only warn you, if you continue interfering, you'll face backlash. Your health will deteriorate and eventually, you'll die. Besides, I don't want to work overtime either." The word die felt foreign to me. All these years, I'd lived like an edge piece of the world, like trash. Invisible, unloved, unnoticed. Yet I had never truly thought about death. Life is precious. Enjoying food, breathing fresh air, simple things lost forever after death. So yes, death is terrifying. But now, the system told me, if I wanted to save Charlie, I'd have to die. 15. Of course, nothing in this world comes without a price. I started thinking, maybe I should just leave. I already left, got plenty of money. Why risk my life for a fictional character? I could live my life freely, the way I wanted. Yet one thought kept gnawing at me. Thomas, are you still that person who came to him just out of curiosity, affection, or playful amusement? My head ached. I buried it under the blanket, shutting my eyes, trying to sleep. But even in my dreams, I couldn't escape. The original ending of Charlie's story kept replaying in my mind. After a night of tossing and turning, I flung off the covers in anger. Damn it, I couldn't save him. 16. Still, spending this time with Charlie was beautiful. That evening, I suggested a honeymoon trip. He agreed quickly. The next day, we packed and headed for a snowy mountain adventure. Charlie's leg, after treatment, no longer ached. And after being with him for so long, he no longer looked pale and gloomy, he was healthy and vibrant. We were beginners at skiing. Clumsily sliding down the slopes, we looked like two penguins. Every time we glanced at each other, we burst into laughter. I looked at Charlie's face. Beautiful, smiling, utterly captivating. You're listening to Omegaverse Tales Studio, a YouTube channel dedicated to captivating short stories. Let's continue. He deserved this life, I thought. A good family, normal friends, a life without a destined tragic ending. He deserved to be vibrant, untamed. A sudden, inexplicable pang of suffocation hit my chest. Charlie noticed immediately. What's wrong? Too cold? No. I just feel a little reluctant to leave. I smiled at him. After all, it doesn't snow much in City A. Charlie ruffled my hair. It's okay. If you want, we can come here often in the future. 17. Will there really be a future? I sat on the bed, dazed, and asked the system, is there really no way to save him? The system replied coldly, no way. He's already living better than before. Even if he dies, it would have been worth it. Be satisfied. Are you speaking human? I snapped. I was never human. I threw a pillow in frustration. The next moment, I was enveloped in a warm, fragrant embrace. What's going on? You've been so preoccupied since yesterday. Charlie's eyes were pitch black, as if they could see through everything. I was stunned by his sharp perception, but I masked it with a mischievous grin, thinking, how do I sneak a kiss? Do we even need to think about that? Charlie said softly, isn't it any time? Wow, you really have changed, I teased. Charlie used to be very restrained. Now it seemed I had corrupted him. He pulled me close and kissed me deeply. Our breaths mingled. When we parted, I saw those eyes again, so full of desire. Beautiful, captivating eyes that I adored. That familiar pang of longing hit me again. I hated my own confusion, yet comforted myself. It's normal to feel this way. But why did I still feel? Thomas, are you hiding something from me? I just held his neck, avoiding his gaze. Harder, husband, I murmured. 18. Returning from the snowy mountains felt like waking from a dream. Charlie went back to being busy with work. I stayed home, enduring the system nagging in my ear. Remember, no more meddling with the plot. Got it, I just want to live a few more years, I muttered. Don't get soft-hearted when the time comes. You're annoying, you know that. I just don't want to work overtime. I sent Charlie a message, are you coming home for dinner today? But no reply came. I frowned and tried calling him. Still no answer. He must be too busy. While cooking, I glanced at the news. On TV, a report of a car accident on the West Side Highway, explosion included, 12 casualties. My mind reacted instantly. That highway, Charlie passed it every day after work. I grabbed my phone, calling him repeatedly. Still no answer. Cold sweat drenched me. I called the system frantically. Did the plot move ahead? Why is this happening? The system seemed confused too. Nope. I grabbed my keys and rushed outside, calling Charlie over and over. After countless disconnected calls, I finally reached the accident scene. I felt lost. Could I really find Charlie among all these cars? Just as I lifted my foot, my phone vibrated. Charlie's name lit up the screen. Thomas, I was in a meeting. Why are you calling so many times? What happened? 19. My heart dropped instantly. I slumped onto the ground, letting out a huge sigh of relief. It's okay, it's okay. The wind blew through my sweat-drenched shirt. Only then did I realize, losing Charlie would have been terrifying. The system spoke in my mind, Thomas, do you regret it? I didn't know. Maybe, just a little. 20. The next story point threatening Charlie was his second brother, Connor, returning home. He was a mad dog with a grudge, furious at Charlie for sending him abroad. He sought revenge, even trying to run Charlie over with a car to end them together. Time passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, the day arrived. The night before, I hadn't slept. The next morning, I woke immediately when Charlie got up. Why not sleep a little longer? I mumbled. I swallowed hard. Can't sleep. Going to the company? Charlie glanced at his watch. Yes. There's a contract today. I'm busy. I called out from behind him. I'm not feeling well today. Can you stay with me? Not feeling well. I couldn't answer. Charlie chuckled, thinking I was teasing. Stop joking around. The system whispered mockingly in my mind. See? It's all destined. You think you can change it? Unless you knock him out, there's no way he'll stay. Charlie was about to leave. I gave up, yelling recklessly. I want a divorce. Charlie stopped, thinking he'd misheard. You said what? I want a divorce. A chilling silence filled the air. The system gasped. Whoa, that works. I glanced at the time. Might as well stall as long as I can. Charlie loosened his tie, calm as always. Thomas, you're confused in your sleep. I married you because of the family, because my brother didn't want me to. Now I'm tired of it. Divorce. I've seen his eyes countless times, cold, angry, emotionless, full of desire, but never like this. A trace of fear ran through me. I repeated, Charlie, The next second, a metallic sweet taste filled my throat. I coughed violently, blood gushing out, red as fire on the floor. In that moment, I realized, I had successfully twisted the story again. 21. Was this worth it? The voice in my head wouldn't stop. Charlie is the villain. His tragic ending is natural. No one loves him, no one chooses him. I chose him. What did you say? I chose him. Even if his ending is tragic, even if he's erased, I'll go with him. I promise to stay with him, forever, until we're old. Though, perhaps, forever isn't possible. Am I dying? No, buddy. You don't know it yet. I really didn't. I only knew my body was failing. The system sneered, "Isn't this what you wanted?" I sighed. "Who wants to die? But if I do, delete Charlie's memories when you're at it." The system was incredulous. "You did so much for him, you're dying, and you still want to erase memories? You're the weirdest awakened person I've ever seen." I said, "You've never loved anyone. When you love someone, you want them to have a good life. Forget me and move on." At that moment, Charlie appeared, standing silently in the doorway. 22. I widened my eyes. "You can hear me talking to the system?" "No," Charlie replied. He set the thermos on the bedside table. But my husband, always cheerful, suddenly became so preoccupied one day, even talking to himself. He loved me so much, yet he said he wanted a divorce. I could tell something was wrong. After a long silence, Charlie finally spoke. "Will you die?" I didn't want to hide it anymore. "Maybe. When I was young, my mother brought me into our family. Everyone treated me with hostility, and back then, she was my only relative. Even if she treated me poorly, even if she didn't care for me, even if she only cared about love and money, not me, I would still go to her first whenever I was sad or scared. When she died, my only family was gone. I only had you, Thomas." I didn't notice when tears slid down Charlie's beautiful, lowered eyes. His voice wasn't mournful, as if he were telling a simple story. But just watching him, I felt a sorrow and suffocating ache that clung like a bone-deep parasite. I had never seen Charlie cry. The book never wrote about it either. It was as if he was born without tear glands. So I begged him, "Please, don't let me have nothing again." 23. Charlie spent more and more time with me. Though most of the time, we didn't speak, I still comforted him. "I'll come back. Do you believe me?" Charlie always answered, "I believe you." But I knew he didn't. Because I wasn't certain either. I wanted him to wait for me, and also to forget me. I knew, in the end, I would break my promise. One autumn, I closed my eyes and watched the last leaf fall from the tree outside the window. I knew I wouldn't wake up again. 24. The system never deleted Charlie's memories, probably because it didn't have the authority. But it was busy, extremely busy. After I died, though my body was gone, my soul remained curious. Every day, I chatted idly with the system, then drifted to Charlie's side to watch him. In the first year after I left, Charlie visibly declined. His once handsome face grew thin, pale, and haggard, and it broke my heart. The second year, he eliminated anyone who had ever bullied him. He was living well, better than I had imagined. Even the house followed my earlier instructions: more flowers, more fish. That's how life should feel. His reputation wasn't as bad as before. Some even approached him, asking for his contact information. Each time, I whispered to myself, eyes stinging, "I don't care, I don't care." The system laughed cruelly. "You care so much you'd give your life to bring him back, ha ha ha." But Charlie always refused. He lived as a solitary man. No one understood him, because no one remembered me, except him. In the third year, my presence grew fainter. The system said it was a sign I was disappearing. Suddenly, I felt a strong, intense unease, even more unsettling than the night I was about to die. I really wouldn't see Charlie again. Death wasn't regretful, nor was it frightening, but thinking I might never see him through the long years brought tears to my throat. 25. I opened my eyes again. First thing I did, look at my body. Was I transparent? Wait, what? I seemed back. I widened my eyes, unbelieving. Then a wave of pure joy washed over me. I hadn't died. I had returned to this world. Warmth beside me. It was Charlie. Charlie, tangible, real. I slowly lay down, our breaths entwined. Fingers lightly traced his sleeping face. I didn't dare touch too hard, afraid of waking my love. He had lost weight. This story is exclusively produced by the YouTube channel, Omegaverse Tales Studio. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe. Charlie's eyelashes fluttered slightly, as if he sensed a long-lost, familiar presence. His eyes opened, clear as spring water, blinking twice. "Thomas," he said, "you came into my dreams again. I missed you. Every day, I missed you." Not a dream. I touched his lips and left a kiss. Even in dreams, would I kiss you like this? It was like an ice glacier melting. Charlie's eyes widened, overflowing with indescribable joy. He hugged me tightly, pressing my ribs painfully. "You're back. It's you, back. Will you leave again?" "No. This promise. I won't break it again." 26. I asked the system why I could return to life after dying. It picked at its nose. "Funny enough, after you died, I've been tirelessly repairing the plot, almost dying from overwork, busy beyond belief." I interrupted, "Get to the point." While repairing, I realized readers actually preferred the broken plot. What was the point of all my hard work? It nearly drove me crazy, but unexpectedly, redeeming the villain turned out to be popular. Readers demanded no tragic ending, and the Spacetime Bureau arranged to send you back. Next time, I'll apply for more of these scripts, maybe even outdo 007. Anyway, you're back now. Stay and enjoy time with your loving husband. Readers love it. When I returned, it was winter. When I met Charlie, it was also winter. Our fate felt like a circle, finally closing. On New Year's Eve, the first snow fell. A rare occurrence in normally snowless A city. Even normally reserved Charlie couldn't hide his excitement. He pulled me to the balcony. Snow melted on our hands and brows. We looked at each other, sharing a tender smile. You have something in common with snow, he whispered. What? You're both gifts from heaven.